Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJNTV Insiders.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the PHDJ Podcast with Joe Bunn and my friend,
that's
my
sweet
mentor.
Of you, Joe. You usually call me a legend, which makes me feel old. This is Mike Walter. What's going on, everybody?
The young legend Mike Walter is here, everybody.
Young legend, but I like friend better. That's
yes, my man. That's my man. Yeah. So Mike,
should we mention we're pre-recording this?
We should, in case something
Joe is
insane
still
happens.
on summer vacation.
I'm basically on.
Where are you now? This is the first. This will drop the first week of August. So where are you?
Oh man, I'm in San Diego, California.
Nice.
Flown
Very
out
cool.
by BPM Supreme, my music supplier, to record content for them.
Look at you. What do you mean record content? I don't understand that.
Are
you?
If you go
you
back,
making songs?
No, I'm no artist, my friend.
Your days of producing music are over.
Done. That was like mid '90s for me, I think. No, I record. I'm the mobile DJ go-to guy for BPM Supreme. So
I did not. How do I not know this?
It's pretty new. I shot 6 videos for the first 6 months of the year. They came out once a month. You might have missed it if you didn't follow them on Facebook.
I clearly missed it because I didn't. I'm just learning about this now.
I think they were actually really good videos, Mike. I mean, a little bit 101 probably for you, but if you go back on BPM Supreme's Facebook page, you will see my. I think I had on too much like spray tan or something. But anyway, you'll see my shiny face on 6 videos that I recorded here in Raleigh that they loved the content. They didn't really love the way they looked. Maybe my face was too shiny or something.
So now they're bringing you out to San Diego.
Right. So I got called when I was in Vegas in March, and they were like, yeah, man, we want to shoot the next 6 in San Diego. And I was like, could you be any further from North Carolina? It's like, why don't you just say Hawaii at this point?
So are you making a big trip out of it, or is this just...
It sounds like a lot of work, to be honest with you, man. I mean, I'm leaving after I have a big gig for a burger chain down here on Tuesday in the afternoon, 2,000 or 3,000 people for that, and their award show, and then I'll leave on that night, Tuesday night, 5 or 6 o'clock. So the 31st I leave, and I'll be back that weekend. But it sounds like a lot of recording.
So you're bringing Ainsley? You making a little vacation, or is this a solo trip?
No, Ainsley's actually still, as of today when we're recording, they're actually still in Park City. So they'll be getting back. And then I'll have a couple of days with them, and then I got to head out again. So,
cool.
I just got back from Park City as well. So,
yeah,
it's just a lot. It's summertime. You know how it is, man.
Dude, I think you and I have the same philosophy. The last couple of years, I have treated my life like I'm back in school. I work my butt off September through June, and then I try to do as little as possible.
I've noticed that about you.
The beach is literally 7 miles from my house, and if I can steal a day here or half a day here, if it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny, I do not want to be in the office. Did you see our latest purchase? Kelly and I got ourselves a Jeep.
I saw that.
Yeah,
the yellow one.
The cool, yellow one, and it's specifically the main reason we got it. It's a 2000. It's got 85,000. We stole it. We got it in cash, and a good deal.
I could see it was like the older model, but it's super sweet.
Yeah, it's great. With the top down, driving to the beach. The main reason we got it was I wanted to get a manual transmission because when we go on vacation, it's hard in Europe to rent an automatic.
Right.
And I know how to drive a manual, but I don't do it on an everyday basis.
Right.
So the first couple days driving a manual, I'm stalling and it's hurt. So I said, God, if we got a third vehicle that was manual, I would stay in the flow. Yeah. So that's really the main reason we got this. And I'm loving it. I brought it to the beach yesterday. I love it.
Did you ride by the dealership and see it, or did you see it on Craigslist? Or
we were looking at a couple different places. I think it came up on the internet for Kelly, and we just rode over to the dealership and checked it out. And,
It's cool, man. It's
I love it.
So
that's how much we love the beach.
Summer, man. It's
yes.
cool.
Yes, bright
but you know
yellow.
what, man? You know what though? Like, I mean, there's plenty of days that thing's going to get used when y'all get dumped on in January and February.
You know, we didn't even think about it for that point, but a few people have pointed out that thing. Could you see the tires on that thing?
That thing
in the
beast.
snow or in the snow? That's gonna do us well. So,
it'll get you to the grocery store at the very least.
Exactly.
Well, so today, Mike, I you know. We do, and we can't thank you guys enough. We get so many comments and Facebook messages, and you know, like I said, I was even with some guys in Utah recently, and they were throwing out some topic ideas. I mean, if you're like me, Mike, my inbox and direct messages and texts, you know, emails stay full of good ideas. So we'll call this one. I think we usually call it what we call it the potpourri episode.
A little potpourri, a little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah.
The mixed bag episode, and forgive me, some of these I didn't make good enough notes on who actually inquired about these things, but let's talk about this one first, Mike, because it is a difficult topic to approach, and we've talked about it a little bit. But if a DJ leaves, or you have to fire them, or they decide they want to go out on their own, and you and I have both had that happen to us. And if you're a DJ company, multi-op owner, you will. If you haven't had it happen, you will eventually have it happen.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah, no matter how good of a boss you are, no matter how well you pay, there's some people you just can't hold on to. So if a DJ leaves and they're already booked, Mike, in the future, let's talk about how we deal with that, you know, as a business owner. You want to start with this?
Well, it all depends on whether we can reach an agreement for him or her to do their events. And that is something I would encourage any multi-op owner to do. I know it's instinctual, especially if they're leaving to become your competition, to just say, screw you, I'm pulling your gigs. I'm going to reassign these gigs. That is not an easy task. Contacting all those clients is not an easy thing to do, and it can really be damaging to your reputation. So I would encourage anybody. And again, I understand the instinct of it is screw you. I'm not going to finance your new company. I'm pulling all your gigs.
That sounds like a Joe Bunn move.
Exactly. But once that emotion has subsided, I would encourage you to sit down with this person and say, look, I think it's in both of our best interests for you to do all these events. You are still doing them as an elite entertainer, so I expect you to hand out elite entertainment cards, which is something you can say, but it's probably not going to happen unless this person is incredibly ethical. And hopefully you can move forward from there. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm saying I think that that's the best solution possible, because I've been in situations where I've had to reassign a boatload of gigs, and it ain't pretty.
Same, Mike. Okay, well, let me flip it on its head then, Mike. What if the guy's not salvageable? You know what I mean? He's perpetually late. He dresses like shit. He can't read the crowd.
You have to fire somebody because of for cause. Because then that becomes a little bit of a simpler phone call, because most brides are going to be a little bit relieved if you say, look, we tried everything we could to hang on to this guy, but we've gotten a couple complaints, and here's the situation. As long as you don't slander him and speak out of turn too much, I think a lot of brides, and I've been in that situation as well, a lot of brides will actually even just say, well, thank you very much. We want to come in and pick out another entertainer. So that's a different situation because of the scenario involved.
Yeah. And Mike, I mean, everything you just said, I concur with. I think that there are, and I'm speaking to the people that work for a multi-op, for a minute here. There are, I mean, I'm in the dozens of people that have come through this company and not lasted for whatever reason over the last 20 years now. There's two that I can actually remember that left the right way. Two. I can still remember the names.
So define for me what the right way is.
They came to me and said, hey, Joe, I remember, hey, Joe. I remember Howard actually just said, my wife is just not having this anymore, man. I'm not spending enough time at home. I'm starting this. He was starting a bounce house company. I just don't have time to do this anymore. Can I finish out these last, 6 shows this year? and you and I, shake hands and call it a day. 100%.
Ding, 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 ding. That is the right way to leave a DJ company. Yeah. And even if you are, use the Corey Fox scenario, Corey moved down to Miami last year.
Yep.
He gave us, I think 18 months notice, told us exactly when he was going to move, stop. And he worked literally up until that Sunday night.
I remember you saying that. You said that.
Left that Monday morning. So that's how much, and that was in his best interest to have a full boatload of events until he left. And it was in our best interest because we were confident to say he'll be here.
Yep.
And then if we got November phone calls for last year, we'd say Corey's not going to be available. Again, proper way to leave. I didn't have to call one client and say, hey, sorry, Corey left the area. That is the right way to leave. And I've had much more than two. I've had many, many DJs leave that way. And I tell them on the way out, you're
always welcome here.
You're an elite entertainer for life. You're always part of the family. You're always welcome back should anything happen. I still invite a lot of those people to our social gatherings and things like that because, they did it the right way.
Well, and they made a lot of money, and they made you a lot of money. I mean, that's
exactly
their family.
Yeah.
Now, okay, Mike, but what if Corey Fox had said, Mike, it's been great. I'm going to give you 18 months notice or 12 months notice or whatever, 9 months notice, but I'm starting Fox Entertainment in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and I'm going to be the next Mike Walter.
Well, again, now I got to knock wood because this hasn't happened to me in a while, but this happened to me many, many years ago. And I, a few times I didn't trust the person enough to have them finish out their events.
Yeah.
So I reassigned those events, and that can be really painful.
Yeah.
The other times I felt like the person was ethical enough and we could do this, and I had them finish out their events. It wasn't easy. It's not easy dealing week to week with somebody who is, working to be your competition, and the paycheck that you're cutting them is actually helping to finance that new company.
You just paid for a part of their website.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not saying it's easy, but I think at the end of the day, assuming that you can trust this person, it's the right way to go for the clients, and it's also the right way to go for your business because you can take a serious reputation hit if you start. The whole bait and switch thing is something that multi-ops suffer. Our reputation is hurt by that, even if we don't get involved in it, because there are enough multi-ops in this industry who do the bait and switch. So a lot of people assume, oh, you're promising me Jay Thompson, but is that really going to happen? So if you start doing that for whatever reason, your reputation is going to take a strong hit.
It's been a while since that happened to me, Mike, as well, and I definitely, as I think back on it, let emotion get the best of me and just were like, I'm not. You can go now. And I did have to make the phone calls, and I think what the advantage of a multi-op is, I mean, there's multiple advantages, but you and I have talked about this before, is that you're multi-op. There are many DJs that you and I have trained from, some from the ground up, me with a little bit different model that I still felt confident sending to these brides and grooms. Now, did I make special exceptions for them and say, look, you don't need to come back in here. We will literally come to your house and do, a consultation, make sure you're comfortable with Greg or whatever his name is. And then even more so, and Mike, you and I have talked about this several times on the show as well, the easiest call to make is, and especially now at the point in my career and your career, is that we don't take gigs every weekend. And the easiest call to make is, listen, I had to let DJ Greg go. But you know what? I'm personally available. I would love to come DJ for you at the same price as the associate.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages if you as an owner decide to start cutting back on your events. It's one of the advantages of that because you are now your company's backup. Either in emergency situations or reassignment situations. And you're right. That's the easiest phone call to make. When you say you make some consult or whatever you said about sometimes you got to throw some stuff in. Sometimes you got to waive the ceremony fee or throw in a little lighting package or something like that because, again, you're going against, even though you probably have a clause in your contract about, we have the right to reserve entertainers. We have that clause in our contract as well. You're still upsetting a client. And I can tell you from experience, you are going to get every single reaction. I've had reactions from oh yeah, that's fine. We don't care. We love your company. To, oh my God, you're about to ruin my wedding. And so that's the spectrum
the gamut. It runs the gamut
of responses, and you don't know until you get in touch with that person. I said something earlier about if you're reassigning because you had to let the person go, about not slandering. Let me just double circle back to that. Another part of that is don't put anything in writing. Don't email the person and say, I had to let so-and-so go because blah, 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 blah. Because even if those things are truthful, you could find yourself in a problem. Say it on the phone. And again, you don't have to rake the guy over the coals because if you go too far, you have to think this person's saying, well, why did you even
why'd you pair him with me in the first place?
Like if you say to a client, hey, this guy got 6 complaints in the last month, then the client's thinking, well, why didn't you fire him after 4? You know what I mean? So I think just be as vague as possible, but just let them know this person no longer reached your standards. You tried everything you could to salvage them. You couldn't, so you had to let them go. And I'm contacting you because I want you to have the best wedding possible. I think if you deliver that message, and again, deliver it verbally, not in writing, most of the time you're still going to get some people, well, we really wanted him, but most of the time you're going to get, oh, well, thank you very much, I want to come in and pick somebody out.
Mike, before I move to the next mixed bag topic, have you ever gotten will you let us out of our contract to contact him?
Yes.
Directly. Yes. And what happened?
That's a sticky one. It depends on how far in advance it is, but I will usually say, look, if you want to break this contract, you don't owe me. I'm not going to return your deposit, but you don't owe me anything further, because I know full well that they've probably had conversations with that DJ who has said to them, I'll do it for the back end. So to me, the client's paying the same amount of money for what they contracted. Let's say it was a $1,750 booking and they've given us $500. I know full well that the DJ on the other end has said, look, if you cancel with them, I'll do it for the $1,250 balance. So it hasn't been regular, but in the rare situations that's happened, we've been okay with that.
Yeah, I think it only happened once to me, and I remember we did this yearly thing. It was actually a church we did this yearly thing for, and she said, well, we've used him for 4 or 5 years, and, we're just going to ask to get out of the contract. And I said, that's fine. And she said, can I have his number? And I was like, you can. I swear. Yeah. And I said, you can probably find his number if you really want it.
Especially nowadays with social media, you can find anybody anywhere.
Absolutely. And the next year,
she wanted you to give his number.
Next year, she called back and said that he didn't show up. He sent some kid.
Way.
Yeah. And would we come do it? And I said, no, we're booked.
Good for you.
I said,
good for you.
Yep. I said, we can't do it. We're not going to do it. And we had done it for, a good deal. It was a church thing.
Right.
Didn't care.
Wow.
Let's move on to the next thing because that was a little bit depressing, and so is this one. But let's talk about the playlist, Mike. So you guys use DJ Event Planner. We use DJ Event Planner. The client, bridegroom, grooms, whatever the couple may be, does the playlist. It's their day, quote unquote, but the parents are paying for it and they disagree. So how do you walk the line between?
I saw your note on this, and my main question is, how do you know that the parents disagree? Do they come up to you during the wedding? Are they in the pre-planning meeting? Like, how is that communicated to you?
I would say, and again, this was sent in by a user or a listener. Let's say that they're sending you emails, in the pre-planning phase. And this is a big one down here. We have a lot of our friends coming. I'm the father of the bride. Let's say, Joe, this is Mr. Smith, father of the bride, for your August 25th wedding. We have a lot of our friends coming from Eastern North Carolina, and they are going to definitely want to hear a lot of beach music. We've talked about this shag music. They want to shag. Chairman of the board.
So this is in advance. Then I would forward that email to the bride and say, hey, I got this email from your dad. Do you want me to work a lot of these songs in or what? As best as you possibly can, you need to get out of the middle of this situation. Have them resolve it. Okay. You can only work on one message. It's the same thing with volume. If the bride's on a dance floor telling you to crank it up and her dad's going turn it down, you can't do both things. So you have to get out of the middle. You have to huddle the two of them up and say, you want me to lower it? You want me to raise it? You want a club? You want to talk to your friends? You guys got to figure out what you want. You have to get out of the middle of that.
You've done that. Like literally had like a meeting in the middle of of a wedding. Like,
yeah, real quick, just say, hey, look, you're telling me to turn it up, you're telling me to turn it down. I can't do both. So which is it going to be?
And musically, you would do the same thing, literally in the middle of the wedding. Like if
I literally would. If the bride has asked for a ton of hip hop and I drop one rap song and the dad comes over and get this crap off, then I say, look, your daughter asked for this. You two should talk about it.
Perfect. I like that.
You have to get out of the middle of it.
I think I've tried to be too politically correct and go back and forth in two genres, like you said, that have no business going together, especially once you've crossed into, say, like the 10 to midnight hour.
Well, and maybe that's the answer, but you have to find, I mean, if the bride says, absolutely not, I don't want any of this old beach crap.
Yeah.
Then you got to go with that.
I like that. So that's a pretty good way of dealing with. Yeah, it's a good way of dealing with it in advance and dealing with it the day of. I mean, like Mike said, take yourself out of the middle. All right, so the last one for our little grab bag here, and we'll put a bow on this episode. Packages and pricing on the site or no? Yes or no? Sorry. Yes.
Yes, but they're hidden pages. We don't. So in other words, if you're surfing the Elite Entertainment website, you are not going to find. You'll find pricing on some of our upgrades, but you're not going to find pricing on our most popular packages. And the main reason for that is, well, there's a couple different reasons, but we offer discounts on certain days. Yeah. So we have multiple pricing pages, hidden pages that we've set up. So if you're contacting me for a Friday in June of next year, I'm sending you a different page than a Saturday in June of next year.
Excuse me.
So we've got them. They're specific about our packages and pricing, but they're not something you would find just by surfing our website.
Same here. So I definitely don't put it out there for the general public, general population. But when I do respond to inquiries, I send them that hidden link to that page.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. We will send that as soon as you ask for it.
Same.
If you ask us for pricing, as long as we can get, your name, email, location, and date. That's really all we're asking for.
That's all I want as well.
Yeah, and those are the essentials that I know, and I can send you pricing from there.
100%. 100%. I think, Mike, that you and I can agree on that. I mean, I feel like the problem with putting it out there on the website, packages and pricing right off the get-go, is that there's no capture at that point, guys. If they can surf to BunnDJCompany.com right now and go to the pricing tab at the top and see it all, then I will never get their name, their email address. I can't follow up. I can't tell them how many weddings we've done at the blah, blah, blah villa. You know what I mean? Right. So it's, to me, it's just like Mike said. And really the hidden tab package and pricing page is so much better. If you ever listen to Alan Berg speak, who works for Wedding Wire, amongst other people, if you ever hear him speak, it just... We did the PDF thing, granted it was a beautiful looking PDF, but we did the PDF thing forever. And attaching things to emails, especially now with everything being on a mobile phone, just doesn't look nearly.
It doesn't work anymore. Yeah. Look at the last time somebody has sent you a PDF and try to look at it on your phone. You're stretching it out. You're trying to see. It's. And we did the same thing. We have beautiful PDFs put together. Yep. And we scrapped them all because nobody looks at a computer anymore. Everybody's on their mobile.
I did that last night. I was going over the notes for writing these scripts for these videos that I'm going to be shooting, and it was on a PDF, and I literally was doing exactly what you're saying, like taking screenshots of different
anything that you create for the internet nowadays. Assume it's being opened on a phone.
On a phone.
Yeah, just assume it. And when I say that, do it yourself. Yeah. Send it to yourself or look at the link yourself and look at it on your phone. If you're having a tough time doing it, then the client will, and the assumption is they're not going to do that. They're just going to scrap it. Yep. They're going to go to the other guy who sends them a link instead of a PDF.
Make sure it's responsive and looks good on the phone, guys.
Responsive, that's the word. I couldn't think. Responsive, that's the key word.
Mike, anything you want to add before we wrap this one up?
Well, we haven't talked at all about the workshop in this episode, so just make sure we announced this last week when we were recording basically live. We got our first sign up. So PHDJWorkshop.com is the place on the internet to check out the entire roster for the week and what we're going to be talking about and the schedule and everything else. So I encourage everybody to go to mobilebeat.com, sign up for the Las Vegas show, and then stick around to Thursday and Friday and attend our workshop.
So really, guys, and Mike is not only going to be opening the show, but he's doing like a private mic workshop Mike is
the
doing
whole
a
week
Mike workshop. I mean, it's basically the Mike Walter show. I'm going to
be working my ass off.
I'm not even on the bill yet.
I might stick around an extra day in Vegas just to chill.
Just to
it's
chill.
going to be like a working.
Dude, we should
working
do that.
trip.
Dude, we should do that and just literally sit at the pool all day that Saturday.
I would only do it if I can fly Kelly out. And I might do that. I might ask Kelly if she wants to come out. If she came out on Friday afternoon and we could chill by the beach or by the pool. Yeah.
And leave like Sunday night or something.
Yeah. I mean, March in Vegas is nice.
Oh, dude, it's sweet.
You can hit the pool.
It's not even hot.
Yeah. Get a couple of edibles and curl up by the pool and chill.
Yeah, you'd be chill. I'd be under the pool. So guys, please, we're looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Make plans for Mobile Beat and the workshop, and keep on listening, guys. We appreciate you. Spread the word, spread the message of the PHDJ podcast and workshop, and we will see y'all soon.
Thanks.
Later.